How many times have you been told to just believe in yourself to achieve your goals? It's probably the most common advice anyone with a big dream gets. But let's be honest for a second. Has anyone ever actually shown you how? Have they ever handed you the user manual for your own mind? That's the real problem, isn't it? It feels like you're staring at a locked door, and everyone on the other side is just shouting, "Believe you can open it." You try, you push, you might even repeat affirmations until you're blue in the face, but the door just won't budge. And with every failed attempt, that little voice of self-doubt gets a bit louder, whispering that maybe you were never meant to get through in the first place. This frustration is completely real. It's the massive gap between knowing what you need to do, believe, and having zero clue on how to actually do it. Well, we're not doing that today. I'm not going to throw more empty motivational quotes at you or tell you to just think positive. Instead, I'm going to give you the key. Actually, I'm going to give you a whole toolkit. We're going to pull back the curtain and look at the real, science-backed mechanics of belief. We'll break down the step-by-step process to systematically tear down the architecture of self-doubt that's been holding you back. And then, piece by piece, we'll install the unwavering, unshakable belief you need to become truly unstoppable. By the end of this video, you'll have a practical, actionable framework to start reprogramming your mind for success. Not tomorrow, not next week, but starting today. You will finally understand how to become the architect of your own belief system. So if you're ready to stop just wishing for success and start wiring your mind to create it, stay with me. Before we can build anything new, we have to understand the ground we're building on. For many of us, that ground is soft, unstable, and riddled with the programming of self-doubt. The reason telling yourself to be confident feels like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg is because it completely ignores the powerful underlying operating system that's running your life. Think of your mind as the most sophisticated supercomputer ever built. Your conscious mind, the part of you that sets goals and dreams of success, is you, the user at the keyboard. But your subconscious mind? That's the operating system. It's the deep underlying code that runs commands automatically without you even thinking about it. Now just imagine that this operating system was programmed when you were a kid, written by people and experiences that had no idea what your adult life would actually demand. This old programming comes from 1,000 places. It could be a well-meaning parent who, trying to protect you, said, "Don't get your hopes up." It might be a teacher who casually remarked that you weren't a natural at something. It could be the sting of a past business failure or a painful breakup that your brain recorded as a critical survival lesson. Warning, attempting this leads to pain. Avoid at all costs. These experiences don't just vanish. They get written into your brain circuitry. Neuroscience research confirms our brains have an amazing ability called neuroplasticity, which means they can adapt and reorganize based on our experiences. When you repeatedly have a thought or feeling, you strengthen the neural pathway for it. So you see, self-doubt isn't a personal failing. It's a deeply ingrained habit. It's a neural superhighway your brain has spent years, maybe decades, paving and reinforcing. Every time you hesitate, every time you talk yourself out of an opportunity, every time you see a setback as proof that you're not good enough, you're sending another rush of traffic down that highway, making it wider, faster, and more efficient. Your brain, in an effort to be efficient, will always choose the path of least resistance. If the "I'm not good enough" highway is an 8-lane expressway, and the "I am capable" path is a barely visible dirt trail, which one do you think your thoughts will default to, especially when you're under pressure? This is exactly why positive affirmations can fail so spectacularly and sometimes even make things worse. When you stand in the mirror and declare, "I am a successful, confident millionaire," while your deep subconscious programming is running the script, you're broke and you've failed at everything you've tried, the two messages create an internal crash. This is a real psychological phenomenon called cognitive dissonance. Your powerful subconscious mind basically flags the affirmation as an error because it contradicts the mountain of evidence it has collected your whole life. It's like trying to run brand new software on a 30-year-old computer. It's just not compatible. That cringy, inauthentic feeling you get, that's your mind literally telling you you're lying to yourself. This is often reinforced by what's known in psychology as a self-fulfilling prophecy, sometimes called the Galatea effect. This principle says that your own expectations of yourself have a direct impact on your performance. When you hold a deep-seated belief that you aren't capable, you become far less likely to take the bold, consistent actions that success requires. You won't ask for that promotion, you won't make that sales call, you won't invest in your own idea because your subconscious has already decided it will end in failure. And by not taking action, you guarantee the very failure you predicted, which then becomes powerful new evidence to strengthen that original limiting belief. See, your inner critic says, I told you it wouldn't work. It's a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle, and it's the core of what keeps people feeling stuck. It's not about a lack of talent. It's a feedback loop where beliefs dictate actions, and actions produce results that confirm the beliefs. The famous story of the elephant tied to a tiny stake illustrates this perfectly. A full-grown elephant, strong enough to uproot a tree, will stay tied to a small wooden stake if it was conditioned as a baby to believe it couldn't break the rope. When it was small, the rope was strong enough. It tried and tried to break free, but couldn't. Eventually it learned, rope equals confinement, so it stopped trying. The belief, I cannot break this rope, was installed. Now, as a massive, powerful adult, the elephant never even tests the rope's strength. The limitation isn't the rope, it's the program running in its mind. In some area of our lives, we are all that elephant. We're tied to invisible ropes, beliefs about our intelligence, our creativity, our worthiness of love or wealth, that were put there long ago. We have the strength to break free, but we never even try, because a deep program tells us it's impossible. Realizing that self-doubt is not your identity, but a learned program, is the first and most liberating step. It's not who you are, it's just the software you've been running. But here's the most powerful truth of all. You aren't just the user of this computer, you're also the programmer. The source code isn't locked away, you have access. You can debug the system, uninstall the malware of self-doubt, and intentionally write and install new code that serves the life you want to create. Because of your brain's neuroplasticity, you can form new connections and pathways your entire life. The only question is, are you ready to learn the language? Here are the 3 science-backed steps to systematically uninstall self-doubt and install the code for unstoppable success. Step 1. Deconstruct the old code, the audit. You can't build a skyscraper on a cracked, crumbling foundation. So before you can install empowering beliefs, you have to find and deconstruct the limiting ones that are currently running your life. This is the diagnostic phase, the mental audit. You have to make the invisible visible, because a belief that operates in the darkness of your subconscious has total power, but a belief dragged into the light of conscious awareness can be examined, questioned, and ultimately dismantled. Your first practical step is to become a belief detective. Grab a journal and set aside 30 uninterrupted minutes. At the top of the page, write down a major goal you're aiming for. Maybe it's earn $200,000 a year, or build a deeply fulfilling relationship, or launch a successful online business. Now, underneath that goal, ask yourself a brutally honest question. What's the story I tell myself about why I can't have this? And then just write. Let it all spill out without any judgment. You might write things like, I'm not smart enough. I don't have the right connections. I'm too old to start. All the good ideas are already taken. I'm just bad with money. I'm not worthy of a great partner. Success just isn't for people like me. These are your limiting beliefs. These are the lines of faulty code causing errors in your system. But don't stop there. For each belief you write down, you need to become a relentless interrogator. Question its very existence. Pick one like, I'm terrible at public speaking. Ask yourself, whose voice is this really? A parent, a teacher, an old boss? What specific memory is this belief based on? That one bad presentation 5 years ago? Is this an objective, verifiable fact? Or is it just my interpretation of an event? Is there any evidence, no matter how small, that contradicts this? Have I ever made a point well in a small meeting? Ever told a story that made my friends laugh? And here's the knockout question. Is holding on to this belief helping me get what I want? The answer to that last one will almost always be a loud, clear no. By putting the belief on trial, you strip it of its power. You start to see it not as a fundamental truth about you, but as a flimsy, outdated piece of data you picked up somewhere along the way. Now, once you've spotted these beliefs, you need a tool to challenge them in the moment. Instead of a declarative statement that your brain will fight, "I am confident," you can use what some call empowering questions. Your brain is a solution-seeking machine. It can't just ignore a direct question. So instead of "I am confident," you ask, "Why am I becoming more confident every day?" Instead of "I am wealthy," try asking, "What are some new opportunities for abundance I can start looking for?" Instead of "I'm a great public speaker," ask, "How can I find a little more enjoyment in sharing my ideas?" These questions bypass your brain's critical firewall and send your powerful subconscious on a mission to find answers that support a positive outcome. You're not forcing a new program in. You're giving the system a task that will lead it to write the new program itself. This is the ultimate act of personal responsibility, taking ownership of the code that runs your mind. Step 2. Install the new code, the upgrade. Once you start deconstructing that old buggy software, you create a vacuum. It is crucial to fill that space intentionally with the new, upgraded programming you actually want to run. If you don't, your mind will just revert to the old, familiar highways of doubt out of sheer habit. This is the installation phase, where we actively create and reinforce the beliefs of the person you want to become. First, you need to start thinking about beliefs not as true or false, but as helpful or unhelpful. Think of them as tools. Ask yourself, does this belief empower me to take the actions I need to take? High achievers do this instinctively. They choose to believe in their own abilities and in the possibility of success because they know those beliefs will fuel the actions that create results. So, what beliefs should you install? Look at the world's most successful people. They consistently believe a few core things: that success is their responsibility, that tough challenges are opportunities for growth, not threats, that their skills can always be improved, and they have an unshakable conviction that persistence eventually pays off. These are the programs you want running on your system. But how do you actually install them? Not by just repeating them, but through emotion and experience. The primary language of your subconscious is emotion, and it doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. This is the key. We can use this neurological quirk to our advantage with a powerful technique: creating future memories. This is so much more than just visualization. This is about creating a rich, sensory, emotional experience of your goal as if it has already happened. For 5 to 10 minutes every day, close your eyes and step into the reality you want to create. Don't just see it, live it. If your goal is financial freedom, don't just see a bank balance. Feel the smooth leather of the steering wheel in your dream car. Smell the coffee brewing in the kitchen of your new home. Hear the sound of your family laughing, totally free from financial stress. Feel that deep sense of pride and peace in your chest as you look at your accounts. What does security actually feel like in your body? Generate that emotion right now. When you do this, you encourage your brain's reward system, which can involve chemicals like dopamine, marking this memory as real and desirable. By doing this consistently, you're digging new neural pathways. You're creating a memory of a future that hasn't happened yet. Then when you face a choice in the real world, to make that bold move or play it safe, your brain has a powerful, positive, emotional memory to draw on. It will be more inclined to move toward that good feeling because it's already tasted the reward. This is how elite athletes win the race in their minds 100 times before they even step on the track. Another powerful installation tool is scripting. Spend 10 minutes journaling, but write from the perspective of your future self who has already achieved it all. Write in the past tense. What a year! I can't believe how my business took off after I finally committed to that new strategy. It was terrifying at first, but looking back, it was the best decision I ever made. I feel so energized and fulfilled every single day. When you write this way, you're adopting the identity and beliefs of the person who has what you want. You start thinking from the goal, not just of the goal. This practice puts the growth mindset into action. It's the core belief that your abilities aren't fixed, but can be developed. By scripting your success, you're literally practicing the belief that you can learn, grow, and overcome challenges. You're replacing "I can't do this" with the felt experience of "I already did this." Step 3. Make it automatic. The daily integration. A new software program is useless if you never run it. Installing new beliefs is a great start, but if you spend the other 23 hours of your day running your old default patterns, the new code will be overwritten. The final, most critical step is to make your new belief system automatic. You do this through daily habits and by designing an environment that constantly reinforces your new identity. Repetition is what turns a dirt path into a superhighway in your brain. The first and most powerful habit is a morning priming routine. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Instead of grabbing your phone and letting a flood of emails, bad news, and social media comparisons program your mind for reactivity and doubt, you have to seize those first few minutes. A priming routine is a simple 5 to 15-minute ritual to intentionally activate the state of mind you want to operate from. Your routine can be simple. It might include movement. Just 1 minute of vigorous movement. Jumping jacks, push-ups, stretching, changes your body's chemistry, floods you with oxygen, and breaks you out of a sluggish state. Gratitude. Spend 2 minutes focusing on 3 things you are genuinely grateful for. Your health, a person in your life, the coffee you're about to drink. Gratitude is one of the fastest neurological hacks to shift your brain from a state of lack and fear into one of abundance. It can boost chemicals like serotonin and dopamine, making you feel better and more open to opportunity. Visualization. This is where you run your 5-minute future memory exercise from step 2. Feel the success of your goals as if they're already done. Prime your brain for victory before the day even starts. This simple routine ensures that you are the first voice your brain listens to in the morning. You're setting your own mental and emotional thermostat for the day instead of letting the outside world dictate it for you. The second daily practice is an end-of-day review. This is a 5-minute journaling exercise that reinforces your new identity. Make 2 columns on a page: Old Me and New Me. Under Old Me, briefly note one time during the day you caught yourself acting from a limiting belief. Maybe you hesitated to speak up. Maybe you procrastinated on a big task. Just be honest, no judgment. Then, in the New Me column, rewrite that scene. How would the confident, successful version of you have handled it? The new me would have shared my idea calmly, knowing it had value. The new me would have tackled the hardest task first, energized by the challenge. This practice makes you more aware of your old patterns while mentally rehearsing the new ones, strengthening that neural pathway for next time. Finally, and this is non-negotiable, you must curate your environment. You are a product of the information you consume and the people you surround yourself with. If you hang out with people who complain, doubt, and criticize, their programming will seep into yours. It's like trying to stay dry in a rainstorm. You have to consciously guard your mental space. This means making some tough choices. Unfollow social media accounts that make you feel inadequate. Limit your exposure to negative news. Politely create distance from people who constantly drain your energy and belittle your dreams. At the same time, actively surround yourself with positive influences. Seek out mentors. Listen to podcasts from people who have what you want. Read books that expand your mind. Your environment must become a greenhouse for your new beliefs, not a battlefield where they are constantly under attack. By integrating these daily habits, you're doing more than just thinking a new thought. You're building an entire ecosystem for your new identity. You are making confidence your new default setting, the automatic program that guides you toward unstoppable success. So for years, you've been told to just believe in yourself as if it were a switch you could just flip. Today, you learn the truth. Belief isn't a switch, it's a system. It's not magic, it's a mechanism. And most importantly, it's a system you can control. You are the architect. You are the programmer of your own mind. That feeling of being stuck, the frustration of self-doubt, These are not who you are. They are just the results of old, outdated programming. And today you got the manual to rewrite that code. We walk through the 3 crucial steps. Step 1, deconstruct the old code. You learn to become a belief detective, dragging limiting beliefs into the light and interrogating them. Step 2, install the new code. You discovered how to use emotionally charged visualization to create future memories and install the beliefs of your future self. And step 3, make it automatic. You got a blueprint for daily habits that turn your new beliefs into your default operating system. The journey from doubt to unshakable belief isn't an overnight trip. It's a practice. It takes consistency and commitment. But every time you challenge a negative thought, every time you vividly imagine your success, every time you choose an inspiring book over mindless scrolling, you are casting a vote for your new identity. You are laying down a new neural pathway. You are proving to yourself, through your actions, who you are choosing to become. The locked door you've been staring at is no longer an impassable barrier. You're holding the key. The tools are in your hands. The profound power of belief, the force that builds empires, sparks innovation, and unlocks human potential, is yours to harness. The only thing that has ever stood between you and your most audacious goals is a story. A story you were told, a story you accepted, and a story you kept telling yourself. But you are the author. So pick up the pen and start writing the story you were truly born to live. If you're committed to mastering your inner world to create your ultimate outer world, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because our work here is just getting started. And I want you to make a commitment right now. Go down to the comments and declare the one limiting belief you are officially uninstalling, starting today. Let's make this a community of programmers, of architects, building unstoppable lives together. Thank you for being here. Now go become the person you know you can be. Your future self is waiting.